Most of my friends think I'm nuts, and I think most of them are probably right. And I remember when I felt like the Lord wanted me to cut down part of our backyard and put a butterfly garden in there. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I never thought about that before. I'm a dude. Guys don't think about butterflies and flowers and all that stuff. But I mean, it just wasn't on my grid. And then the Lord just said, hey, I'm going to teach you more about me through an insect with 2 wings than you know about me in all these years of theology and training and Bible reading. And so I took him up on it, and I cut the grass down, and I went to Home Depot with my wife, and we got a bunch of plants and put in all the attractants that butterflies like. And next day, here they come over the fence, tons of them, laying eggs on the plants. And I got my notepad because I want to get taught. So before long, I start seeing these little white globules on the leaves and little caterpillars, so about that big pops out of them, and they immediately start eating. They get after it. They start eating these milkweed leaves and start getting bigger, and then they poop and get bigger and poop. All they do is eat and poop. They sit around the backyard, and they eat and they poop, and they get bigger. That sounds familiar. So I thought, okay, the guy's got 6 sets of eyes. 6 sets of eyes, but he's blind. That sounded familiar too. I know a lot of people that are wise in their own mind. But these guys are crawling around in the backyard, and they kept heading for the swimming pool, and I thought, that can't be good because you can't swim. So I'd have to run over there and scoop up, before they commit hara-kiri, and scoop up these little blind caterpillars and put them back on their food source. So they get bigger and bigger, they keep eating, they keep pooping, and then all of a sudden the wasps come in after them. And all they got is these 2 little antennas in the front and 2 in the back, and I thought, that's not going to do much. And they come in for the kill, and they're like, oh no, get away! I'm so ominous and so vulnerable. And they don't touch them. And I thought, why don't they kill these caterpillars? There's nothing to them, but they don't. And I didn't know why. Inquiry minds want to know why, so I kept watching and noticed, that one day one of them got disenchanted with his food. That's bizarre. And he just left the garden and hung upside down and formed a J and was just kind of like, what is he doing? And all of a sudden, all this green stuff comes out of his mouth, and he starts spinning himself into a cocoon. I thought, that is awesome. And then all of a sudden, the head popped off. I thought, that can't be good either. This guy's not getting out of there. His head just popped off. 45 seconds after he closes that cocoon, whatever's in there, it doesn't matter because God doesn't use any of those parts, and that's what blows me away about this whole story. It just becomes gelatinous goop. It's awesome. That sounds familiar too. So I'm watching this thing and I'm thinking, well, nothing's going to happen, but 7 days to the day, it turns transparent, and you look in there, and there's this gorgeous butterfly. It's a different color, but you can't touch it, and it can't do anything. It's just encapsulated. It's hidden. That's familiar too, isn't it? You're just hidden. Nobody can do anything for you, and you can't do anything for anybody. You're just in suspended animation. So 7 days later, it turns black as a raisin and shriveled up. I thought, I knew it. The thing's dead. It's not doing anything. And I learned now, after raising thousands of these little creatures, that when it looks the worst and when it gets the blackest and when it's shriveled up and it appears to have no life in it, you're less than 24 hours away, from a resurrection. You bet. When it's the darkest, when it's the deadest, when it's so still, nothing's going on, that's when he's getting ready to bust out of it. So I got up early in the morning, and I'm looking, and all of a sudden that dead thing starts to wiggle. I thought, holy smokes. And it starts to crack. And what's cool is that old thing fights it, man. That cocoon fights it. He doesn't want to let him out, but that's by God's genius, because the dynamic tension of that cocoon is pumping the fluid into his wings. So he fights against it, but it causes him to pump the fluid into his wings so they can expand. Then he breaks out and climbs to the top, and he starts turning around until he finds the sun. And as soon as he finds the sun, the heat from the sun causes the second abdomen pump, or the enzyme pump, to go off, and it blasts this stuff all over the wings. It hardens and makes him able to fly. It seals the deal. And I'm sitting there watching this going, this is outrageous. And he goes, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. So I'm watching this little guy, and then all of a sudden, he's like, look at me. Look at me. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things are brand new, and takes off. And I went, oh my. And that was like day one of my beginning of the understanding of this. And so as they began to emerge, I started seeing like these massive differences. The first one was the new creature has two eyes, and they see what you see, just like we see it. But then they have the diachromatic lenses, so they have a double eye. The other one sees heat and color and radiation and things that the human eye doesn't have the ability to see. Unless somebody, of course, gets it in the spirit and can bring it to us and make us see it, then our eyes will adapt to it. But it's not natural for us. And secondly, oh, he's got wings. That's an upgrade. I watched those little guys spend an hour. I watched those guys spend an hour trying to get over a matchstick as a caterpillar. It's like, wow, what'd you do today? Well, I almost climbed over a matchstick. Now they don't ever have to do anything. They can just fly forever if they want. And their color changed, and that's what blew me away. And that's what really makes this awesome. You see, because orange, the color orange in the monarch butterfly is the same color scheme as a Bengal tiger. And you think, well, okay, what's the connection? Well, no one touches either one of them for a very important reason. Orange in the animal kingdom means I am dangerous, don't touch me. Well, what's dangerous about the monarch butterfly? I'm glad you asked. All that time that he was eating and pooping, you know, kind of like Miyagi and the Karate Kid, wax on, hey, old man, I just came here to fight. Wax on, wax off. And then he went to punch him, and he was like, you sharp. Yeah, see what I mean? The same way with the butterfly. All the time that caterpillar's just sitting there eating and pooping, and you think, this is old and boring. Oh no, it was all calculated. It's genius. Because what he was eating was milkweed, which converts his blood to toxin against his enemy, but life to him. So anyone that tries to attack him or tries to eat him, if they do, they die. But they don't, because he's orange, and they say, that guy's dangerous. So his blood makes him dangerous to his enemy, makes him toxic to his enemy. And I'm like, wow, that is awesome. It's in the blood. My blood makes me toxic to the enemy. Yes, I love this. So I keep watching these guys, and I'm thinking, man, this is amazing. And he goes, oh, no, it gets way better. Because they have a purpose. They have a purpose for their resurrection. Like they didn't just come into new life. They have something. You know what? When we come into new life, that's just the beginning. We have a purpose. We got something to do and somewhere to go. I said, well, where are they going? He goes, they're migratory. And I went, holy smokes. And I realized they're heliotropes and they're sonar driven, so they only follow the impulse of the sun. Everything they do, they follow the sun. If there's no sun, they stop. If you ever look at butterflies, they don't fly on a really crummy day. They fly when it's bright and sunny out because they're solar. They're solar powered. So what's really cool is that one time a year, migratory monarchs, they go to 1 mile, like this square mile of real estate in Mexico, where millions and millions of them come together at the same time, brought there by the sun, to come into community. Oh, they get to mob together. But what happens? It's amazing. It's the coldest day of the year by God's design. He's awesome. Like, I got an idea. Let's show people how you can survive in really tough elements. Let me bring you into a place where you'll have to be in community when it's really hard or really cold or really dark. And they come together, and they get into community, and every 45 seconds they cycle in and out of the mob, so no one's ever cold, because the warmth keeps the guy on the outside the guy on the inside. See what I'm saying? It's like this organism. It's a body, kind of like we're supposed to be. Get it? And the warmth is moving into the mob, and so everybody's taken care of. And then I thought, oh, that's awesome. He goes, oh, it gets better. I'm like, what do they do now? And he said, progeny. Once they get to this point, man, they reproduce after their kind. Romans 8. The manifested sons of God, what they haven't seen, what they haven't heard, what they haven't touched, tasted, or smelled yet, a new breed. Thank you. And so here's what blew me away. The progeny goes back to the very garden where their parents were born. Think about that. So in South Florida, where I live, when they go to Mexico and they have kids, the kids make the flight back to my garden where their parents came from. And once in a while, you have a cross-migratory butterfly. And you know when they come because they look like they've been through a war and back. Most of the orange is out of their wings already. They're tattered. They're at the end of their life. But they actually make the trip to Mexico, have children. They make it back with the kids. And when that happens, man, it's party time. Because I get so excited whenever I see those guys. I know you've been to Mexico and back, and you brought your kids. And that's what God's saying to us, man. You can go to hell and back and bring your kids. I mean, he's given us so much, man. He's transformed us. We're not what we were. And we've been transformed for a purpose. Not just to go, oh, it's so cool that I'm transformed. Yay. This is awesome. No, we're transformed so other people can find out about transformation. So anyway, it's just a little of my backyard theology of the butterfly, but everybody's, yeah. So somebody said, so you wrote a song about bugs? And I said, no, I wrote a song about Christians.
Sky.